Dan, tell me, what is art?
Well, with that same question, Picasso answered by saying, if I knew the answer, I wouldn't tell you. But I think there's a better way of answering that. If we think of art, we think of a lot of things. We think of drama, we think of music, we think of dance, architecture. A lot of things fit into that category as far as what art is, and I think the simplest way of answering it is about aesthetics. We like to have something nice to look at, or something that's pleasant to our ears or eyes, and I think anything that satisfies that is pretty much an art in itself.
How did you become interested in art?
Well, that goes a long way back. I grew up in the 50s, and in the 50s, we didn't have all the things that young people have today. If we had anything, it was a television, and not everybody had a television, and what they had, there wasn't very many programs. So as a child back in the 50s, I had to learn how to be creative, and or you get bored. And so I would draw or use crayons to make pictures and all kinds of things like that. And also, we didn't have air conditioning. So we had to spend a lot of time outside. And so you're naturally just looking at what the colors are in nature and trees and what was in the ground, and all those things influenced me into looking at nature a little closely. Even though I'm an abstract painter, I still have to begin somewhere, and I begin with nature.
Who is your favorite artist?
My favorite artist, without a doubt, is Picasso. Not because I like all of his work, but it's the body of work that he had. And also, Picasso started studying art at a very young age. He was like 9 years old, 7 years old. And by the time he was 15, he was a master artist. He knew how to do paintings in the old master style. But instead of staying with just the old masters, Picasso moved on and evolved as an artist that many artists do not do. And it was because he was always searching, always busy, always drawing, always doing what it required. I like Picasso because he was willing to change and evolve as an artist. Even when he was in his 90s, Picasso was still painting and drawing. So there is a consistency there. We would have never heard of Cubism if Picasso had not explored and done something totally different. Now, he obviously looked at other artists and what they did, but he always had a way of changing it that it became a Picasso, not a Rembrandt or somebody like that.
Why are you making abstract art?
Because I can. It's an easy Picasso-esque kind of answer, but I can do abstract art because in the 1840s was when photography started to take hold. And during that process of developing photography, artists were no longer had to do things that were perfect or realism. Instead, by the early part of the 20th century, artists were looking at other kinds of art. They were looking at doing abstract art. And there was a real closeness for some of those early abstract artists, like Kandinsky, of the fact that music and abstract art are related. If you think about it, if you just listen to a piece of music, what is not abstract about it? It gives us a story. We may know the story, we may not. It doesn't even matter when we listen to music if we know what the music's about. It's abstract. And because they made that connection, they also tried to make their paintings and artworks as if it was music. And of course, it's evolved quite a bit since then, but I just love it. From an early age, I was fascinated about abstract art, and the main reason was because I'd never seen anything like it before. An abstract artist, to be a good abstract artist, and there are some not so good abstract artists, I have to say that. It's just as difficult doing a good, great abstract art as it is to do realism. Because for one thing, with abstract art, there has to be creativity. There has to be originality. Artists that think that all they have to do is spray a painting like Jackson Pollock did, you really have to have your own voice as an artist and record it as if you're keeping a journal. Abstract art it's my journal.